In today's video of BFDI slash OSC theory, we're going to be talking about robbed BFDI characters. Now, what is a robbed BFDI character? That is a good question. So basically what that is, at least in my definition, is a character that was not able to reach their full potential within their own respective season that they were most popular in, or they were eliminated before they could reach their full potential. Or there is a third alternative where the writers just kind of slack off when it comes to writing that character, which you can make the claim that that character, quote, loses to bad writing, which that's a whole nother topic that we might discuss in this video, but that's just kind of like a short definition of what a robbed character in BFDI is. There's a couple of candidates and there's a couple of characters that have definitely been robbed in the series. So, yeah, my name is TL Gent, or TG for short. And if you enjoy BFDI slash OSC object show video essays like this, consider subscribing to the channel. The goal is 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I kind of do want to talk about Lai in this video, I'm going to be honest. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to be going over Lai in BFB, just to make things a bit easier. So, Lai was eliminated very early on in BFB, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, it kind of sucks when you think about the reason why Lai is eliminated. Now, when it comes to BFB, especially back then, really BFDI in general back then, if you mess up, or as a character, right? If you mess up in an episode and you do something bad and your team is up for elimination, you're cooked. There's no now there's fan favorites, and people are a lot more considerate, which you could make the argument that they're not. But when it comes to voting, it's not as dangerous as it used to be, is because if you were to mess up within an object show episode and your team ended up getting up for elimination and it was kind of your fault, you would be absolutely done for. But now, that's not always the case. Sometimes it could clearly be one character's fault for their team losing the challenge, and that character doesn't get eliminated. And I've noticed that a lot. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of people were kind of upset when Lai got eliminated, mainly because Lai wasn't able to reach her full potential within the show, is because she was eliminated so early on. And Lai remained eliminated well after BFB 16, which technically that means that Lai was in the exit for a good amount of years. I think either a little over or a little under 5 years, which is insane. The entirety of BFB had passed since Lai was eliminated. And there's other BFDI characters that kind of had it worse, when it comes to being eliminated in BFB, like Pencil. Pencil was eliminated, since BFB 1. Think about that. How many years ago was that? That was, almost 7 whole years ago. I don't think BFB is 7 years old just yet. I think we got a week or two until BFB is actually 7 years old. But that's almost 7 years. I'm surprised. If BFDI was a lot more of a darker show, then I do believe that Pencil would have went insane in there. But yeah, when it comes to Lai, honestly, Lai was one of my favorite characters within BFDI. And it really did kind of suck to see Lai eliminated. And luckily now Lai is getting a lot more attention within the OSC, which I think is good, is because she was definitely a robbed character for a long period of time. And that was because people were kind of judgmental around the time when she got eliminated, and I guess you could say it was kind of a wrong place, wrong time situation, I guess. And it did kind of suck. And Lai remained, like I said, Lai remained eliminated for a long time. And yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest, there's not a lot to talk about here, is because we haven't seen Lai a lot. Like, you know what I mean? She hasn't appeared a whole lot within the series. But for some other characters on this list, their sections will be a bit longer, is because they have been around for longer periods of time. So, yeah. The next character that I kind of want to talk about in this video is Rocky. Now, I know this is interesting, like a very interesting character to bring up in this video in specific, but I kind of do want you guys to hear me out. Rocky was kind of robbed, and it was because he is a complete one-trick pony. The fact that Gracie became more loved than Rocky is kind of sad. Like, I would love to see both of these guys, you know what I mean, like, receive a glow up. But it was only Gracie and not Rocky. And I kind of, I liked Rocky for a while, and I still kind of like Rocky as a character. And it's kind of because he doesn't contribute anything, but he's also not really that big of a problem, even with his barf. Like, it's not like he does anything inherently bad, like other characters, you know what I mean? And I feel as if, like, Rocky gets kind of overhated when it comes to being in the, like being a BFDI character. And the main reason why people hate him is because he doesn't do enough, which, I mean, like, yeah, I guess, but it's not like he's going out of his way to be, like, an annoying or bad character. He's just kind of there, you know what I mean? You can only really get mad at him so much. It's not like he does anything. Like, it's not like he goes out of his way to be to be a bad person. You know what I mean? And I think it would be cool, like, when it comes to, like, future BFDI episodes or seasons, I think it would be cool to have, like, Rocky, Rocky have, like, a character. Okay, so I'm gonna give, like, an example. It's because it's hard for me to actually, like, say this without giving an example. So, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of, like, the whole flower and basketball dynamic, right? I think it would be cool to have something like that with Rocky and another character, or, like, a better example is, like, Snowball and Gracie, you know what I mean? Like, something like that could happen with Rocky and another character. I don't really know who that character would be. That's the only issue. Like, I don't know who that character would be if Rocky were to have, like, I don't know what to call it, like a mentor, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, someone who kind of looks after Rocky, I guess, because I think that would give him a lot more popularity, you know what I mean? And surprisingly, as some of you might, like, would have thought, Rocky hasn't been, like, well, nah, because I was going to say that Rocky hasn't been eliminated a whole lot throughout his run in BFDI, but he has gotten eliminated a fair amount of times. But you would just think that he got eliminated a lot more than he, like, did. But, yeah. Honestly, I think Rocky, it's not too late for him. I mean, he hasn't had the best reputation, and it's kind of for a stupid reason, but it's not too late to improve Rocky as a character, at least in my opinion. Eggy is next. Now, I know this is kind of weird, especially is because Eggy is kind of popular within the show, but I feel as if Eggy could have been a lot more than what she was during her run in BFDI. Like, it's because even with a person on YouTube's whole video explaining why Eggy is the most underrated BFDI character, I feel as if Eggy could have been a lot better than she was, like, in a couple of ways. Now, Eggy is kind of one of those, like, introverted BFDI characters, right? Like, Eggy doesn't go out of her way to, like, you know, socialize with a whole bunch of characters within BFDI, and that's kind of where her bond with Teardrop came from, you know what I mean? But I feel like in Teapot, Because, like, in BFB, Eggy was kind of just chilling, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that bad. But I feel like in Teapot, bro, like, I don't know. I feel like Eggy just kind of had a little bit of a fall off. Let me kind of explain what I mean. So, in Teapot 2, right, there was a part in the episode, towards, like, the latter half of it, I guess, where Basketball has to go mess around with Robot Flower, something had went wrong or whatever, right? So, Basketball had to do that. So, Basketball left Eggy in charge of their team. And Eggy wasn't really the most prepared for this, and things kind of, like, went into chaos after Basketball had left. So, Basketball ended up returning to the team, and there was this whole argument about, you know what I mean, who was more wrong in the situation. And it kind of sucks in hindsight when you think about it. It's because, like, both of these guys were kind of, they didn't, like, that kind of took a little bit of a blow to their reputation. And it wasn't really entirely Eggy's fault. Like, yeah, Eggy could have definitely done a better job, you know what I mean? Like, definitely. But it wasn't really the best idea on Basketball's end to just leave, like, one of her random teammates in charge of everything and expect them to do everything completely right. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, what did you expect was going to happen, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, that had happened. And, like, I feel like the main reason, like, that was kind of, like, the main thing, or, like, my main gripe with that whole section of the episode was how, like, the other teammates just kind of ratted on Eggy and, like, turned on her for no reason, when really, like, there was no valid reason to do so. And that only really helped start the argument between Eggy and Basketball. And for some reason, Foldy was involved with it. I don't know why, but yeah, that had happened. I don't know. I feel like after that, like, Eggy just kind of had a little bit of a fall off, in my opinion. Maybe Eggy's character might be a lot more expanded upon in future episodes. We don't know. We don't really get that much of a glimpse on what the place that 2 sends the eliminated contestants to. We've seen it kind of before, but yeah, I just hope that we'll be able to see a lot more of Eggy in the future in some way, shape, or form. Nelly is definitely one that I kind of want to go over in this video. The reason why I want to talk about Nelly is because of the fact that Price Tag kind of took Nelly's spotlight, and I know that's the thing that a lot of people talk about, and it really kind of sucks, is because when it comes to that, Price Tag is a very new contestant. The only season that Price Tag has even competed in has been Teapot. You know what I mean? So for Price Tag to come in and unfortunately, you know what I mean, kind of take a lot of the attention away from a character like Nelly, or some people have said Pillow too for some reason. I don't know why, but like for a character like that this is their first time being in a BFDI season, to do that. Like, I'm not, like, blaming Price Tag as, like, the character, but you know what I mean? Like, for that to happen is kind of sad, more than, like, infuriating. You know what I mean? It's just kind of sad to see that happen to a BFDI character. Especially because Nelly has been around since, like, BFB, and BFB is almost 7 years old, right? So, it really is just crazy to think about. And then, you know what I mean? Nelly ended up getting eliminated. So, like, that had happened, and it's like, man, like, wow. Now, I didn't really, like, Nelly wasn't one of my favorite characters in BFB, but I still, liked Nelly as a character. Like, because there's a difference between having, like, a favorite character, or, like, a character being, like, one of your favorites, and you just liking a character. Nelly was, like, I just liked Nelly as a character. She wasn't, like, one of my favorites. But, like, at the same time, it is still sad to see, and it's even more sad if Melee was like a character that you loved. You know what I mean? Now, I feel like this can deserve a video in and of itself, so I'll leave you guys to discuss this one more in full, and I might make a separate video about this, I don't know, but yeah. The last character that we will be discussing in this video is Loser. Now, Loser is a very interesting case, considering the fact that at one point, Loser was literally one of the most loved characters in BFB. And I guess you could say that Loser is a very prime example of a, quote, BFDI one-hit wonder. Now, I do feel as if it sucks is because, like, Loser, starting off at least, like when Loser was like first in the game, or like when we first saw him like compete in a season, which was BFB, he actually started off like pretty humble and like a nice guy, you know what I mean? Even though like he was very popular and everyone loved him, he didn't really let the fame get to his head until later on. What I mean by this is, by post-split, Loser was kind of egotistical. I mean, when he got eliminated, he was so shocked that he ended up being speechless. He couldn't say a thing. So, I just feel as if Loser was able to keep his cool and remain humble, he would have been fine. And BFB post-split was vote to save instead of vote to eliminate. So, it's not like people were trying to eliminate him because of that. He just didn't get as many votes as he probably would have gotten if he would have like been more of a humble character, and he didn't really stand out anymore. You know what I mean? Heck, most of Loser's diehard supporters weren't even in BFB post split. Most of them were in Teapot. So, and like he was up against a lot of the veterans in BFDI, like characters that were around since the first season. He really had no chance. So, I think Loser is definitely a prime example of you have to stand out as a character in a good way, especially if you want to last a long time in the game. And that is going to be it for today's episode of BFDI/OSC Theory. I know this video was way longer than I intended it to be, but, you know, I just kind of wanted to make a pretty decently long video as a return to these kind of videos. But yeah, I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoy BFDI Theory/OSC Theory, please consider subscribing to the channel. As I said before, on the road to 10K by the end of the year. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.